To Wi-Fi battle or not to Wi-Fi battle? That is the question. And today's question of the day is, what is, in your opinion, the best and worst Pokemon ever in the game? So, in my opinion, the best Pokemon happens to be, well, Arceus is pretty good. I mean, it has the highest base stat total, but I have to go with Mewtwo. Just because in Red, Blue, Yellow, I mean, it was godlike with all those amazing stats with Amnesia, raising special attack and special defense by 2 stages, since it was the same thing in Red, Blue, Yellow. And the worst Pokemon of all time is Unknown, because it's useless and you can't evolve it. Well, I guess if you wanted to complete the Pokedex, it's not completely useless, like, you know, the Unknown Dex. In that case, I guess Delibird, because it still can't, like Unknown, it can't evolve and it's completely useless in its current form. But, I'd have to say Mewtwo and Delibird. So, yeah. Or Delibird or Unknown, depending on how you look at things. So, yeah, leave that comment, and here's the battle. So here's a battle with Amicus, and I found him on the Serebii chat room, so, yeah, we're just gonna battle here. And, yeah, I lead with Moltres, he leads with Swampert, and, I'm just gonna U-turn, you know, predicting a water move of some kind, so I decided to go out into, Breloom, because, you know, I'm predicting a water move. And he goes with a Hydro Pump, and that's pretty cool, because now my Breloom is gonna get an opportunity to set up really early, which, you know, is usually good to get some damage on his team. So I go with the Spore, and that puts to sleep the Swampert, and I'm just going to set up a sub because, you know, subs are cool, and I do set up the sub against him, and as he switches out into a Zelf. So that's pretty awesome. And I'm not going to go with a Focus Punch, I'm just going to go for the Seed Bomb, because, you know, Azelf resists Focus Punch, and he just goes for a Psychic to break my sub, but I get some free damage with Seed Bomb, which isn't bad at all. And anyway, now I have to switch, and I'm going to predict the Psychic again, and go into Snorlax, who is my kind of special wall on this team, and Psychic does, you know, some damage, but not a whole lot. And I'm just going to go for the Body Slam, just in case he decides to stay in, but he goes in a Latias, so I get the Body Slam off on that, and it looks like to be a 3-hit KO, so I decided just to keep whacking it, because I don't think Latias can do a whole lot to me. He does have the hidden power of fighting, and he gets a crit, which is kind of lame, but then I get lame too, and I get a Parahax off the Body Slam, so his Latias gets paralyzed. And then he's going to actually get Parahaxed here, so he's not going to be able to attack as I finish off with the Body Slam. So, yeah. Snorlax is about half health again as Latios goes down, and that's pretty darn good for me. So now he goes into Scizor, and, you know, I really don't want to lose Snorlax quite yet, so I decided to switch, but he predicts that in Pursuit, which tells me this is probably a banded Scizor. I go into Moltres, and I know he's locked into Pursuit, so I decided just to go for the Air Slash, just because I think he's going to predict a, Fire move, and might as well go with the unexpected move. But he just goes into Azelf as Death Fodder, and Air Slash is going to be taking down Azelf, which is awesome. So, yeah. He goes into Vaporeon now, and I really don't want to lose Moltres, so I decide to switch, and I decide to go out into Snorlax, pretty much as Death Fodder, as he goes for the Surf, and that will take down Snorlax. So anyway, I go into Metagross, because I have the Thunder Punch, and that might scare him off, and I decide to go for an Agility, because I'm really predicting a switch. But I don't think he'll stay in with Vaporeon against Metagross. Because, you know, Thunder Punch is a pretty common move on Metagross. But he goes into Snorlax, as I Agility, which is kind of pointless because Snorlax is epic slow anyway. So I'm just going to hit it with the Meteor Mash. I'm hoping it's to a KO, but it's not quite, and I don't get the attack rise to make it so. And his Earthquake is also a 3-hit KO, so that's not too bad. I just decided to go for the Meteor Mash. I mean, I'm faster, so I should be able to KO him before he KOs me. And Snorlax is left with red health. He Earthquakes again, and I'm down to 80 hit points. I decided just to go for an Earthquake to finish it off, because Earthquake has perfect accuracy. I wouldn't want to risk a Meteor Mash miss. So, yeah, I'm able to EQ and take down the Snorlax, which is pretty good. So now he goes into Caesar, and I decide just to Earthquake again. Might as well get as much damage on Caesar as possible before he's able to take down Metagross with Superpower. But because he used Superpower and not U-Turn or something, that means I'm going to be able to set up using Slowbro, because Slowbro is a pretty awesome physical wall, and Slowbro resists Superpower. So yeah, I decided to get a Calm Mind, and I should have predicted a switch into Caesar, but I just didn't, and I will go with the second Calm Mind. So it actually is not good for me, so oh well. He U-turns and does quite a bit of damage, obviously, because of the Choice Band and the super effectiveness. And I go for a Surf, and he predicts that quite nicely and goes into Vaporeon. He's going to Wish, meaning he's probably going to end up healing Caesar, but I go with a Hidden Power Electric, so that is super effective on Vaporeon, which does quite a bit of damage. And I decided to just go for a Slack Off, because, if he's going to heal, I'm going to heal. I mean, come on, it's just fair. And I Slack Off and pretty much go back to full health, and he gets a Wish on Caesar, which sends him back to full health. So, yeah, it kind of sucks, but it kind of is cool at the same time. But then he's lame and gets a crit off the U-turn, which takes down Slowbro, and I was pretty pissed at that. I'm like, no, damn it, no. But anyway, Slowbro does go down, no matter how much I dislike that fact. And I'm going to Breloom, because Breloom is faster than Vaporeon. And I decided just to set up the sub, because I don't know if Vaporeon has Ice Beam, and he might switch, I don't even know. But he goes for a Hidden Power, which is not very effective against Breloom. Don't know why he did that, but oh well. I go for a Seed Bomb, and he barely survives, and breaks my sub with Surf. It gets a crit, but I don't know if that mattered. I'm just going to set up the sub again, as he switches into Caesar. And now I'm just going to Focus Punch, because I can. So yeah, I'm going to Focus Punch, and he's going to break my sub with Bullet Punch, and Focus Punch is barely not going to be able to take down the Caesar, which makes me kind of sad, but, I kind of expected it. But I know he's locked in a Bullet Punch, so I go into Moltres for the Resist, and Moltres takes the Bullet Punch pretty well, and, yeah. I'm just going to go for a U-turn, see what he switches into, and he goes into Swampert, which means I can virtually set up with Breloom for the win. So, good game. I'm just going to sub and then Seed Bomb, and then he's just going to run. So, good game, Amicus. Hope to battle again sometime. I don't know when. But rate, comment, subscribe, guys, and yeah. There might be a lack of battles soon just because of my intern starting up, and I'm just really busy with the summer and stuff. But I'll try to post as often as possible. So rate, comment, subscribe, guys. Peace.